Good afternoon, everybody. Brian Newbert here again from GoldandBlack.com, live in one of North Jersey's finest malls, where if you need to avoid that pesky New York sales tax or maybe set Richie up real straight, this is the place for you. A lot of money coming through here. You know where there's a lot of money? The Purdue Federal Credit Union. I cannot recommend them enough. I've been a member my entire adult life, and they've always done right by me. So please keep them in mind. Thank you to them for their support, as always. So I'm just here working today in a mall near my spawning ground, and getting ready for this, to cover this Rutgers game tomorrow night. You know what? I haven't picked out a topic to talk about yet. Let's talk about why Purdue isn't getting to the foul line. I don't know. You know, you've got a really physical front court scorer in Trey Kaufman-Renn. Granted, he's only played 3 out of Purdue's 5 games. You've got size. You're drawing fouls. You're getting in the bonus, but you're just not getting a lot of free throws. Purdue does not need help scoring. I think they're fine as is. But, you know, foul differential, free throw differential is always a big part of a winning equation, you know, for teams that are a certain level and have certain measures of physicality and have the right personnel. You know, Purdue hasn't played a ton of close games yet, Alabama being the only one. The Memphis game, obviously, I don't know if there was a lot of padding going on at the end of those games where the opponent just had to send Purdue to the line just to keep the game moving or keep the game alive. But something to watch, too, as Purdue now gets into Big Ten officiating, which hopefully I won't have to be talking about after every game like I have been the last couple of years. I think it's really a huge luxury for Purdue that Oscar Clough and Daniel Jacobson can both really shoot free throws. I can't remember their combined percentage, but it's really good. And when those are the guys who, you know, are drawing a lot of fouls because people have a hard time matching up with them physically, when you get into those one-and-ones, you know, sometimes when it's your 7-footer who's getting fouled, going all the way down for a 1-and-1, that's dicey because sometimes those big guys aren't great foul shooters. But I don't think that's as scary now as it would be for most big guys or teams with big guys. So that's kind of something to keep an eye on here. You know, Trey Kaufman-Renn is playing a little more away from the basket now, so the whistle, you know, will affect him the same as it always has when it's not going in his favor. But it's not going to be like an every game thing. People are pounding on him. People are knocking him down. He's going to be away from the basket a little bit more, shooting those runners. When he drives from the high post or drives from the wing, that's when he's kind of a runaway train. And that's when, you know, he might need help every now and then from the refs to get to the foul line. I remember the play against Memphis when he just got clipped in the head or whatever it was that they didn't call. I think that was a big part of him kind of unraveling emotionally in that game. But when he's picking up a head of steam driving from that wing, that's where it affects him more than probably right at the rim like it would have last year. So it'll be interesting to watch how much of Purdue's offensive, you know, formula can be built around the foul line. Braden Smith's a great foul shooter. Not sure why he's not shooting great to start this season. Fletcher Lawyer's an impeccable foul shooter. He's shooting like 96% right now on 20-some attempts, whereas Braden Smith's only shooting 70% when he's historically like a 90% guy. I'm not sure what's going on there. Probably just a blip. Probably just a small sample size data point that really we'll be laughing about in a couple months or a couple weeks. It'll be interesting to see when Trey Kaufman-Renn finally starts getting to the foul line how he does, because that's been something that, you know, he's not had the best track record with in his career. He's put a lot of time into it, but, you know, if he's not a 70-75% guy, 75 is a pretty big number, but if he's not a 70% guy, you're talking, or 70%, I can't remember what I said. I've got Christmas music blaring in my ears. But if he's not a 70% guy, that's a lot of meat you're going to end up leaving on this bone. by the end of the year. And obviously, you don't want to squander opportunities for points. So just something, I don't know what brought that to mind as Purdue goes on the road for its Big Ten opener, but the foul line and foul differentials and Big Ten officiating, things have turned into an octagon, things have turned into mud wrestling. In this particular game, whether it's Rutgers, Northwestern, Penn State, whatever it might be, these games have been hideous. And that's what teams are going to have to do against Purdue this year in a lot of cases, because Purdue's really good. And, Purdue opponents are going to have to muck the game up. Notice I said muck. Muck the game up, make Purdue win ugly. And I think that's where the Memphis game was a good tell for Purdue, where, that's how it was. And they had to just kind of, take it however they could get it. And it was pretty awful to watch. As just somebody who likes basketball, it was ugly as hell. But Purdue's going to have to find ways to win ugly at times this year. They can outscore most anybody, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen every single night. So that's what I got from the mall. This is Brian Newbert from GoldandBlack.com. Thank you once again to the Purdue Federal Credit Union for your support. I implore you to go to GoldandBlack.com and join our site. I think we have a deal going on right now. Go check that out. It'll make your Christmas that much merrier. I promise you that. So thank you, everybody, for watching these ridiculous things. And I will talk to you guys again tomorrow from God knows where. Some sort of train station, maybe. I don't know. Bye.